Good evening, my friends. I hope you all are doing magnificently and are not watching pornography. Anyway, let us get down to business here. In the last video, the last video is just part one of this little two-part series on what I tell people when they ask, how do I get a girlfriend? Where are all the good women at? There's no good woman nowadays. How do I find a good, godly Christian woman or anything along those lines? Okay, so, like I said, I'm not going to answer that question directly. So, if that's what you're looking for, too bad. What I am going to tell you, though, is some considerations to take into consideration beforehand, before you even start pursuing that. The last video I talked about considering what kind of man you are, if you're the kind of man that you would want your daughter or sister dating. Went into a lot of talk on that. This time, let's take a step back, way back to the beginning, and to the first woman, really, and the first man, Adam and Eve. If you go and you read Genesis, what you see is that when God created Eve, he said, it's not good for the man to be alone. I will create a helpmate suitable for him. Okay? Got that word there, helpmate. That gets a lot of people angry nowadays. But anyway, that is what it is. And here's the thing. As far as your own plan for your life, if you're just like most guys and your plan for your life is to basically pay taxes, watch football, play video games, and then die, I would venture to say that you don't really need any help to do that. Okay? On the other hand, if you have a mission, if you have some degree of ambition, I'm not talking about selfish ambition as far as, build yourself up as much as possible. I'm talking about wanting to use the life that God has invested in you, basically, and give a return on it. Is God going to see a return on everything that he's entrusted to you, everything he's invested in you, everything that he's blessed you with? This life, this breath, this body that you have, your talents, your skills. I do believe that everybody has a purpose. We're not made to just be background characters in our own lives, God made you. He knit you together in your mother's womb. He has a purpose for you. He has plans for you. They're good plans. And, that should be in your life. Your life should be lived with that in mind. If it isn't, and you just want to kind of coast, you just want to exist, guess what? You don't need a woman to do that. So stop expecting one to come. On the other hand, if you have a mission, and you do, if you have things to do that are worth doing, if you have things to do that are bigger than yourself, then yeah, some help is going to be good for that. And, there might be somebody for that. There might be a helpmate for you there. And so that would be, and I'm not going to say, guaranteed if you just follow your mission and, do it if you just have a fruitful enough life, then you'll have a great, fantastic, godly wife, and life will be perfect, and you're never going to have any problems, and, everything's going to come easily. No, not at all. Absolutely not. But I am saying that before, like I said, this isn't how to get a girlfriend. This is before you even get down that track, before you even start down that road. there's a couple things to consider first, and that is definitely one of them, okay? So, to reiterate, if you just want to exist, if you just want to watch football, if you just want to play video games, if you just want to work your job and pay taxes and die, then you don't need any help. You can do a plenty good job of all that yourself. And frankly, you're better off not dragging anybody down with you if you're going to live that kind of low consciousness, low, just purposeless life. You're better off not having somebody to, to keep tethered to the ground like that. You're better off alone. But if you want to do something bigger, if you want to do something that's bigger than yourself, that's good. You should want to do that. So figure out what it is and do it. And it's not going to come instantly. I'm not saying that you need to instantly know what your life purpose is and all that. You need to instantly have it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. I know some of the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. That's, a lot. Some of that is what I am doing right now. That's how this channel started. That's how the website started. That's how a lot of stuff that I've done in the last couple of years has started. I'm sure that's not all there is to it. There's plenty more to do. But I still don't know it all. I know very, very little. And for you, don't feel bad if you don't know it yet. That's the other thing I'll say. Is this isn't trying to make you feel bad for not knowing what your purpose is or anything like that. You shouldn't feel bad, okay? This should be a very positive idea that, yes, you have something to live for, you have a purpose to work towards that's bigger than yourself, and you have something worth taking somebody else along in the ride and doing it with them. And if you're having trouble figuring that out, for me, I had no idea up until around the time, like a few years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I'll tell you a couple things that helped me with that. And one of them is the book, The Tin Soldiers by Andrew Schwab, which I've mentioned so many times and I'm going to mention so many more times because of how strongly it impacted my life. But that was absolutely the right book at the right time for me, and that was hugely beneficial. And one of the things that he talks about in the book is an exercise that I did long time ago, a couple of years ago, on my first Brodyssey, which is basically a trip where I just drive aimlessly and see where I end up. But I stopped at a hotel after driving aimlessly for hours and hours, and I did this exercise for the first time. And basically it was to make 4 columns on a sheet of paper. The first column lists your talents, your abilities, even if they seem silly, even if it seems irrelevant or whatever, just anything that comes to mind, anything that you're good at, anything you know how to do, anything that you are naturally inclined towards, any positive traits that you have, whether it's, a specific skill set, or if it's just the fact that you're disciplined, or that you're diligent, or that you're patient with people, whatever it is. And it can be silly stuff, like, being good at, I don't know, having a good time by making massive bonfires, whatever it is. Just all kinds of stuff. But that's the first column. In the second column, list your passions, your interests, the things you feel strongly about, all of that. Third column lists things that you think are dumb, things you think are stupid, evil, worthless, what is wrong with the world today, that kind of stuff. And finally, in the fourth column, just whatever goals, aspirations you have, anything that you would like to accomplish in your life, whether you have a roadmap in your head to get there or not. Just stuff that you want to do. Again, even if it's silly stuff, don't filter yourself at all on any of this. Okay? That was a very beneficial exercise for me, and that led me to start doing what I'm doing now. This is one aspect of that. So, yeah, I can say that if I hadn't gone through that process, I might still not know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life right now. And you probably wouldn't be watching any of these videos. You probably wouldn't be reading, my website. You probably wouldn't know that I even exist, most of you. And so, yeah, that's something that I definitely recommend for that. And then the other thing the other thing is just pray. Just pray about it. And work on the skills that you do have. Work on developing yourself and improving yourself every single day. Getting better and better and better. And becoming more equipped and ready to do whatever mission that God has in store for you whenever you do find it out. So anyway, that's it for now. 10 minutes is long enough. I'm trying to keep these videos not too terribly long, but that's it for now. So just last reminder, if you're going to live a pathetic, meaningless life, you don't need help for that. You don't need a helpmate. If you're going to live with purpose, if you're going to do something bigger than yourself, then yeah, you might need some help. So that's it. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. I'll talk to you later.